Enter the stars. John Hicks, you're up. Great job. On this disco ball, reflecting light onto all sides of the walls of the interior cavity of this room. This is John Hicks' channel. Subscribe if you feel inclined. But I wanted to use this screenshot from his video to try and shed some more light on the models that we have been coming up with for the makeup of the fabric of our universe. Now, this is the disco globe, of course, in which a light source is shined upon this globe, and then the mirrors reflect off of its surface. Now, as we know, a disco globe can use one light source or multiple light sources, but any one light source will reflect only one face. And all of these little mirrors are pointed outward. Now, bear with me on this because this is quite a concept, but I think we're getting closer without having to build an actual model. Any one light source will reflect all of the mirrors on this face, except when you get to the very edge, because obviously those mirrors are facing the opposite direction or are at an angle that cannot capture the light from the light source that just say it's coming from this direction. And with a single light source, we're going to get the twin opposed vortex. The lights moving in opposite directions with a vertical light coming out from the center, just as you see here. Reverse this image and you get the night sky at the equator. Now you're probably thinking at this point, okay, Casey, if that's the case, you're showing us a globe again. Imagine that you're inside this globe and all of the mirrors are pointing back at you, and you and us live on the lens, the back of the lens of the inside of the eye on a hill. And now imagine that those mirrors are inclined and pointed in a fashion that when you are on the middle of the hill, the equator, you get this effect. When you are at the top of the hill of the little lens, the bottom of the eye, the stars spin in the opposite direction. And when you're at the bottom of the lens, around the rim of the lens, the stars spin in the opposite direction. And there is our inner eye closed model. Now I want you to notice you're only getting this effect in a closed environment. In this case, it's the wall in the corners of the room. So you're probably asking yourself, if you're inside the globe and the mirror is shining back at you, how is it? Shouldn't it be the opposite direction? Well, it is the opposite direction. But what happens is it still comes back in a circle. So the opposite direction is the end. The beginning is the end, which is what God tells us He is, the Alpha and the Omega. So the external reflection, even if you tried to flip it the other direction, as I did in this video, you'll only end up with the same closed loop, a Coriolis of stars. And this final piece is what I believe the model of our universe is based on. And so indeed the truth reveals itself, that the stars in the heavens were indeed made for man. And as we pan in to the surface of the backside of the lens of the human eye, we can see where the equator. At that point, you would see the fleur de lis in the sky. And that is why they hide these things in plain sight. Because they know we'll never understand. Or they think they know. But they didn't account for the Holy Spirit and Bible prophecy that in the last days all will be revealed. And I've outlined the equator on the yellow dots. And you can see in actuality the reflection going against the walls, with the stars going straight from view and then curving around, looking north and looking south, and that everyone in the North Pole or northern hemisphere will see the stars spinning one way, and everyone in the southern hemisphere will see the stars spinning the other way. And this is our model for the universe. Take care and be safe, you guys.